Beloved soul, as this new morning opens its eyes and breathes its first light across the earth, I invite you to settle your heart into stillness. Let the noise of yesterday loosen its grip. Let the rush of what must be done wait quietly outside this sacred moment. You have come because you are hungry, not for answers alone, not for success or relief only, but for the living word of God spoken gently into your spirit, like dew upon dry ground. And God, who sees the quiet longing you carry, is already near. Take a slow breath, as if you are inhaling grace itself. Feel the simple miracle of being alive right now. This moment is not an accident. It is a meeting place. The same God who formed light out of darkness and breath out of dust is turning his face toward you this morning. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where his mercy can reach you. Let your heart whisper what the psalmist once cried aloud. "O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water," as written in Psalm 63:1. This thirst you feel is holy. It is not weakness, it is invitation. It is the echo of your spirit remembering where it truly belongs. As this prayer unfolds, you do not need to strive to impress God with perfect words or polished faith. He is not asking for performance. He is asking for presence. Bring him your tired places, your questions, your half-healed wounds, and your quiet hopes that you barely dare to name. He already knows them, yet he delights when you open your heart willingly, like a child stepping into open arms. Lord God, in the stillness of this morning, we turn toward you. Before we turn toward the world, we turn toward your voice. Before we carry the weight of responsibility, we rest in the truth that you are our sustainer. You see the one listening now. Their nights that were too long, their thoughts that circled without rest, their fears about what this day might demand. Meet them here. Let your presence be thicker than anxiety, gentler than regret, stronger than uncertainty. Let this moment be a kind of awakening, not merely from sleep, but from spiritual dullness, from the quiet resignation that sometimes settles into the heart after disappointment. Awaken hope again. Awaken trust again. Awaken the deep knowing that you are still at work, even when progress feels invisible. As the light grows outside, let light grow within. Shine into the places we have hidden from ourselves, not with harsh exposure, but with healing warmth. Where shame has whispered lies, let truth speak louder. Where exhaustion has blurred vision, let clarity return. Where faith has felt fragile, breathe strength back into it. God, you are not distant this morning. You are not watching from afar. You are close enough to hear the smallest sigh, close enough to collect every unspoken prayer. Your word tells us that you are near to the brokenhearted and that you save those who are crushed in spirit. And even now, that promise is alive and active. Let the listener feel that nearness, not as an idea, but as a quiet assurance settling deep within. As this day begins, we place it gently into your hands. Not because we have everything figured out, but because you do. We do not know what conversations await, what challenges will rise, or what moments will test our patience or courage. But you already stand in every hour of this day. You go before us, and you walk beside us, and you remain behind us as our covering. Teach us even now to move at the pace of grace. Slow our racing thoughts. Calm the inner urgency that tells us we must prove our worth through productivity or perfection. Remind us that our value was never earned. It was given. We belong to you before we do anything at all. For the one listening who feels worn down by repetition, by days that seem to blur together without change, speak renewal. Let them hear that your mercies are not recycled leftovers, but freshly given each morning. Let them feel the quiet miracle of beginning again. Let restoration begin not with dramatic change, but with steady trust. For the one carrying grief, perhaps unnamed or unshared, wrap them in compassion. You are not uncomfortable with sorrow. You wept with those who mourned, and you still do. Sit with them in their ache. Do not rush them. Let your presence be enough for this moment. For the one wrestling with doubt, remind them that faith is not the absence of questions, but the choice to bring those questions into your light. You are not threatened by honesty. You welcome it. Meet doubt with patience and replace fear with a growing sense of safety in you. As we breathe in and out, let this prayer become a resting place. Let your words sink beneath the surface of the mind and take root in the heart. We remember the promise spoken through the prophet Isaiah, that those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, as written in Isaiah 4:31. We wait now, not passively, but expectantly, waiting not as those abandoned, but as those watched over. Renew strength where it has been depleted. Renew courage where fear has lingered. Renew love where bitterness has tried to take hold. Let renewal begin quietly, like seeds underground, trusting that in time it will rise. God, we give you this morning not as a transaction, but as an offering. We offer you our attention, our breath, our willingness. Shape this day according to your wisdom. Interrupt us when we drift. Anchor us when we feel unstable. Surprise us with moments of grace we did not anticipate. Let our words today carry kindness. Let our choices reflect integrity. Let our reactions be softened by mercy. Not because we are strong on our own, but because you are alive within us, guiding, correcting, comforting. As this first part of our prayer draws gently onward, let the listener remain aware that this is not a solitary moment, but the beginning of a sacred journey today. God is not finished speaking. He is not finished restoring. He is not finished drawing you deeper into His embrace. Stay here, heart open, spirit listening, as His presence continues to unfold. As you remain here, breathing slowly, allow the truth to settle that God is not rushed with you. He does not hurry you through healing, and He does not pressure you into instant transformation. He walks with you at the pace your soul can bear. In a world that constantly urges you to move faster, do more, become more, this moment stands as holy resistance. Here you are allowed to simply be held, seen, and known. There is something sacred about the continuation of prayer. It is not a new beginning each time, but a deepening, like walking further into a forest where the sounds of the outside world fade and the language of creation grows clearer. You are stepping deeper into God's presence now. Let your heart soften. Let defenses you did not even know you were holding gently lower. Lord, you know how easily we carry yesterday into today. Old conversations replay in our minds. Regrets echo louder than hope. Expectations, our own and others, cling tightly. But in your presence, time itself is redeemed. Yesterday does not have the final word. Today is not trapped by what came before. You are the God who makes all things new, not just once, but continually. For the one listening who feels the weight of responsibility pressing heavily this morning, remind them that they are not carrying this life alone. Even the strongest shoulders were never meant to bear everything without rest. You invite us not into self-reliance, but into trust. You invite us to lay down what exhausts us and take up what sustains us. Your word whispers this invitation gently, saying, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest," as spoken by Jesus in Matthew 11:28. This rest is not escape, it is restoration. It is not the absence of effort, but the presence of grace within it. Let that rest begin to flow now, through tense muscles, through anxious thoughts, through the places where striving has replaced trust. God, teach us again what it means to lean on you, not as a last resort, but as a first response. When uncertainty arises today, let our instinct be prayer. When frustration builds, let our reflex be surrender. When joy appears, let our response be gratitude. Reorient our hearts so that communion with you becomes as natural as breathing. For the one who feels unseen, who does much and is rarely acknowledged, let them know that you see everything. You see faithfulness in the small things. You see the quiet obedience no one applauds. You see the love given without recognition. Nothing offered in love is ever wasted in your economy. Every unseen act is gathered into your eternal purposes. Let the listener feel this truth settle deeply. Their life matters, not because of how loudly it is noticed, but because it is held by you. You are attentive not only to outcomes, but to intentions, not only to victories, but to perseverance. You delight in the quiet yes spoken in ordinary moments. As this day unfolds, there may be moments when the listener feels inadequate, when tasks feel bigger than capacity, when emotions feel stronger than control. In those moments, remind them that your strength is revealed most clearly in weakness. You are not disappointed by human limitation. You work through it. Let them remember the words spoken to Paul, that my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness, as written in 2 Corinthians 12:9. Let this truth dismantle the lie that they must be strong at all times. Let it free them to be honest, to ask for help, to rest in grace instead of performance. God, for the one whose heart is guarded because of past hurt, approach them gently. You do not force open doors. You knock patiently. You are trustworthy, even when trust feels risky. Heal what has been wounded by betrayal, disappointment, or loss. Restore the ability to hope without fear. Teach the heart how to open again without losing wisdom. For the one who feels distant from you, perhaps unsure how that distance formed, remind them that separation is never the end of the story. You are always the God who seeks, who leaves the 99 to find the one, who runs toward the returning child. Even now, you are closing every gap with love. As this prayer continues, let awareness of your presence extend beyond this moment into the hours ahead. Let the listener sense you not only in stillness, but in movement, in conversations, in work, in interruptions, in silence. Train their heart to recognize you everywhere. Let their eyes be open to small gifts today. The warmth of sunlight, the kindness of a stranger, the steadiness of breath, the quiet reassurance that they are not alone. These are not random details, they are reminders. Each one whispers that you are attentive, generous, and near. God, shape the listener's inner world today. Guard their thoughts from spiraling into fear. Anchor their emotions when they feel overwhelming. Guide their decisions with wisdom that is both gentle and firm. Let your spirit act as an inner compass, nudging them toward what brings life and away from what drains it. If today brings conflict, give them patience. If today brings opportunity, give them courage. If today brings waiting, give them endurance. If today brings joy, give them humility and gratitude. Meet them not with a single response, but with exactly what each moment requires. As this prayer stretches on, let it become clear that restoration is not always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like choosing kindness when irritation would be easier. Sometimes it looks like resting instead of pushing. Sometimes it looks like trusting again, one small step at a time. Honor these small acts, they are sacred. Lord, teach the listener to listen, to you, to their own soul, and to others. In a noisy world, cultivate discernment. Help them recognize which voices bring truth and which bring confusion. Tune their heart to the frequency of your spirit so that your guidance becomes familiar and comforting. For the one carrying secret fears about the future, Remind them that tomorrow is already held. You are not surprised by what lies ahead. You are already present there, preparing provision, strength, and grace. They do not need to see the whole path. They only need to take the next step with you. As this second movement of prayer continues seamlessly onward, let the listener sense that something within is gently shifting, not forced, not rushed, just quietly realigned. God is working beneath the surface, weaving restoration in ways that will reveal themselves in time. Stay here, stay open. The embrace of God has not loosened. His voice has not grown silent. There is more grace to receive, more truth to hear, more life to unfold as this prayer continues. Remain in this sacred flow, beloved, because prayer is not something that breaks and restarts. It is a river, and you are allowing yourself to be carried deeper now. What began as stillness is becoming trust. What began as listening is becoming communion. God is not only speaking to you, He is shaping you gently from the inside, the way light slowly reshapes a room at dawn. There is a holy intimacy in continuing. It says to God, I am here. I am not rushing away. I want to remain. And remaining is where transformation quietly happens. Not through force, not through pressure, but through presence. Let your soul rest into that truth. Lord, you know how easily our hearts fracture throughout the day. One part of us worries about the future, another replays the past, another braces for disappointment. But in your presence, you gather us back into wholeness. You call our scattered thoughts home. You invite our divided attention to rest in you alone. For the one listening who feels internally fragmented, pulled in too many directions, unsure what to prioritize, bring alignment. Let them sense what truly matters and release what only pretends to. Give them the courage to say no where they need to, and the wisdom to say yes where you are leading. Your word speaks gently into this confusion, reminding us that you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you, as promised in Isaiah 26:3. Let that peace begin to take root now, not as the absence of challenges, but as steadiness in the midst of them. Let peace become an anchor rather than a fleeting feeling. God, we acknowledge that some wounds are carried quietly. Not all pain announces itself. Some of it lives beneath smiles, beneath responsibility, beneath strength that has been practiced for a long time. You see the hidden ache. You see the places where the listener learned to survive instead of rest. Touch those places with compassion. Heal not only what happened, but what was believed because of it. Heal the inner narratives that say, I must handle everything myself, or I am too much, or I am not enough. Replace those lies with truth spoken slowly and repeatedly until it settles in the bones. Let the listener hear you say, you are safe with me, not because life is predictable, but because you are faithful, not because pain will never come, but because you never leave. Let that safety become the foundation on which new trust is built. As this day continues to form, there may be moments when the listener feels emotionally exposed, when old feelings surface without warning. In those moments, remind them that emotions are not enemies, they are messengers. Teach them to bring every feeling into your presence rather than pushing it away. You are not overwhelmed by intensity. You are attentive to honesty. God, cultivate resilience in the listener, not the hard resilience that numbs, but the soft resilience that bends without breaking, the kind that allows tears without shame, the kind that rests when needed, the kind that trusts you even while trembling. For the one who feels pressure to have everything figured out by now, speak relief. Life with you is not a race with checkpoints to pass on schedule. It is a relationship. Growth is not linear. Healing is not tidy. Faith matures through seasons, some bright, some quiet, some painfully slow. None of them are wasted. Let them remember that even Jesus withdrew to quiet places. Even he rested. Even he waited. If the Son of God honored the rhythm of rest and prayer, how much more do we need it? Give the listener permission to be human without guilt. As this prayer continues, extend it outward into their relationships. Where there is tension, sow patience. Where there is misunderstanding, sow clarity. Where there is distance, sow humility. Teach them to listen, not only to respond, but to understand. Teach them to love without needing control. If there are relationships that feel broken beyond repair, remind them that reconciliation does not always look the way we imagine. Sometimes it is restored connection. Sometimes it is released expectation. Sometimes it is peace without closeness. Give wisdom to discern what healing looks like in each case. God, for the one who feels lonely even among others, draw near in a personal way. Let them sense that your companionship is not theoretical, but real. You are present in the quiet moments, in the spaces between words, in the pauses where longing surfaces. Fill loneliness not necessarily with noise, but with assurance. Let their inner dialogue slowly change. Where self-criticism has been loud, let gentleness grow. Where fear has dominated, let courage take shape. Not bravado, but quiet confidence rooted in you. Teach them to speak to themselves the way you speak to them, with truth, patience, and hope. As they move through this day, they may encounter moments that test their character. Moments when it would be easier to react than to respond, easier to withdraw than to engage, easier to harden than to soften. In those moments, remind them that transformation happens in choices that no one else sees. Honor their quiet obedience. Let them remember the ancient wisdom written in Proverbs, that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, as written in Proverbs 3 verse 5. Let this trust be lived out practically, not just believed abstractly. Trust you with timing, trust you with outcomes. Trust you with what feels unresolved. God, help the listener release the need to control what can only be surrendered. Control exhausts, trust sustains. Teach them the freedom that comes from letting you be God. Let surrender feel less like loss and more like relief. As this prayer flows onward, let it become clear that restoration is not something the listener must achieve. It is something they receive. Their role is not to fix themselves, but to remain open. To return again and again to your presence. To allow grace to do its slow, faithful work. For the one who fears that change will require becoming someone unrecognizable, reassure them, you do not erase identity, you redeem it. You do not flatten personality, you refine it. The truest version of who they are is found not apart from you, but in you. Let them feel your delight, not because they are flawless, but because they are yours. Let that delight quiet the striving heart. Let it replace fear-driven obedience with love-rooted devotion. As this third movement of prayer gently carries on, let the listener sense a deepening calm. Not because every question has been answered, but because they are held by the one who is faithful. God's embrace remains steady. His voice remains near. His work continues, even now, unfolding patiently as this prayer moves forward. Stay with this unfolding presence, dear soul. You are not lingering too long here, you are learning how to dwell. There is a difference. Lingering is uncertain, but dwelling is intentional. Dwelling says, "This is where I am meant to be." And God, who has been waiting patiently for your attention, receives you with quiet joy. As prayer continues, it begins to feel less like speaking and more like being held, less like asking and more like listening. This is where the heart learns new rhythms, not the rhythm of urgency or survival, but the rhythm of trust. Let that rhythm begin to guide you now, steady and gentle, like a heartbeat reminding you that you are alive and not alone. Lord, You know how often we measure our days by productivity and outcomes. We learn early to ask, "What did I accomplish?" instead of, "What did I become?" But in your presence, those measures are transformed. You care not only about what we do, but about who we are becoming as we walk with you. Shift our attention inward, not in self-obsession, but in holy awareness. For the one listening who feels discouraged by slow progress, who wonders why old patterns still appear, why healing seems incomplete, speak patience. Growth under your care is organic, not mechanical. It unfolds in seasons, often beneath the surface, long before it becomes visible. Roots grow in darkness before fruit ever appears in the light. Let them trust what they cannot yet see. Let them believe that faithfulness in small, unseen ways is shaping a future they cannot yet imagine. Remind them that you are not frustrated with the process. You are present within it. There are memories, Lord, that surface unexpectedly. Moments from the past that still carry emotional weight. Some feel warm with nostalgia, others ache with regret or grief. When these memories arise today, teach the listener how to hold them with you rather than alone. You are the God who redeems time itself. Nothing remembered is beyond your healing touch. Where there is regret, bring forgiveness. Where there is grief, bring comfort. Where there is shame, bring release. You do not ask us to erase our past, you invite us to let you reinterpret it through grace. Even the broken chapters are not wasted when placed in your hands. As the listener moves forward today, they may face decisions, some small, some significant. In a world overflowing with advice and opinion, quiet their heart enough to discern your voice. You do not shout over chaos, you whisper through peace. Teach them to recognize that whisper. Your word reminds us that the Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land, and will strengthen your frame, as spoken in Isaiah 5:8-11. Let this promise become personal. Let guidance feel relational, not distant. Let provision feel faithful, not anxious. Let strength feel renewed, not forced. God, for the one who feels spiritually dry, who prays but feels little emotion, who believes but feels disconnected, assure them that dryness is not absence. Even landscapes that appear barren hold seeds beneath the surface. Faithfulness in dryness is precious to you. Continue your work quietly, faithfully, even when sensation is minimal. Teach them that spiritual maturity is not measured by constant intensity, but by steady trust, by showing up, by remaining, by choosing you again, even when feelings lag behind belief. Honor that quiet endurance. As this prayer carries on, expand the listener's vision of restoration. Restoration is not merely returning to what was, it is becoming what could be. It is not nostalgia, it is transformation. You are not trying to recreate a past version of them, but to form a truer one, shaped by grace, strengthened by wisdom, softened by love. Let them release the comparison that steals joy, the habit of measuring their journey against someone else's progress. Every soul walks a unique path with you. Comparison breeds either pride or despair, but neither reflects your heart. Call them back into their own story, where you are actively present. God, guard the listener's heart today from subtle discouragement. Not the loud kind, but the quiet whispers that say, "This won't change," or "You should be further by now," or "Why bother hoping?" Expose these whispers as lies. Replace them with truth spoken firmly yet kindly. Let them remember that hope is not denial, it is alignment with your promises. Hope is choosing to believe that you are at work, even when circumstances lag behind. Hope is resilient because it is anchored in who you are, not in what we see. As the day progresses, there may be moments when the listener feels overlooked or undervalued. In those moments, remind them that being chosen by you outweighs being recognized by the world. Your approval is not fickle. It is not earned by performance. It is rooted in covenant love. Let them hear you say, "You are mine," and let that identity settle deeper than any title, role, or label they carry. When identity is secure, striving loosens its grip. Let this security guide their interactions, their choices, their sense of worth. God, cultivate gratitude in the listener, not as forced positivity but as awareness. Awareness of what is present, what is sustaining, what is quietly good. Gratitude does not ignore pain, it widens perspective. It allows joy and sorrow to coexist without canceling each other out. Let them notice today what they usually overlook. The steadiness of breath, the simple provision of food, the gift of conversation, the beauty woven into ordinary moments. Each one is evidence of your care. For the one who fears vulnerability, who has learned that openness leads to hurt, teach them discernment without walls. You do not call us to reckless exposure, but to wise openness. Guide them in choosing where and when to share their heart. Surround them with safe relationships that reflect your gentleness. As prayer continues, let it extend into the body as well as the spirit. Release tension held in shoulders, in jaw, in chest. Anxiety often settles physically before we name it emotionally. Let your peace flow through nerves and muscles, reminding the body that it too is safe. God, we invite you into every layer of this day, into work and rest, into silence and conversation, into certainty and doubt. Nothing is too small, too ordinary, or too complicated for your presence. When the listener feels tempted to withdraw from you later today, to rely on habit instead of relationship, gently draw them back, not with guilt, but with invitation. Let prayer feel less like obligation and more like returning home. Your word says that the Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him, as written in Lamentations 3:25. Let seeking feel natural, not strained. Let hope feel grounded, not fragile. Let goodness be recognized even in unexpected forms. As this fourth movement of prayer continues seamlessly forward, let the listener sense that something is settling into place. Not everything, not all at once, but enough to breathe more freely, enough to trust more deeply, enough to continue the day aware that they are held. God's embrace remains constant. His attention does not wander. His work is ongoing. Stay here in this awareness as prayer continues to unfold, carrying you gently toward deeper restoration and quiet strength. Remain here a little longer, gentle heart, because what God is doing now is subtle but profound. This is the kind of work that does not announce itself with noise, but with deep internal shifts. Like soil being softened before rain, your spirit is being prepared to receive more than you expected. You are not empty. You are making room. There is a sacred honesty forming in you as you stay present. You are no longer rushing to present a polished version of yourself before God. You are simply allowing yourself to be known. And this, more than anything else, is what the soul longs for: to be fully seen and fully loved at the same time. God is not intimidated by your truth. He is the one who planted it there. Lord, you know the private prayers the listener has carried for a long time. Prayers repeated so often they sometimes feel worn thin. Requests whispered with hope at first, then later with uncertainty, and sometimes with quiet resignation. You have heard every version of those prayers. Not one has fallen to the ground unnoticed. For the one who wonders if their prayers still matter, remind them that delay is not denial. You are a God who works beyond linear time. What feels slow to us is often careful in your hands. You are weaving answers that will not collapse under the weight of reality. You are building something sustainable, not rushed. Let the listener feel relief from the pressure to manipulate outcomes. Teach them the freedom of entrusting results to you. There is peace in obedience without control. There is rest in faithfulness without guarantees. You do not ask them to manage the future, only to walk with you into it. As this prayer deepens, bring attention to the listener's inner voice, the one that speaks when no one else is listening. Shape that voice with your truth. Where it has become harsh, soften it. Where it has become fearful, steady it. Where it has become hopeless, renew it. Let your voice become louder than self-criticism, louder than accusation, louder than the echoes of past failure. Teach the listener to recognize when thoughts are not aligned with your heart, and give them courage to release what does not serve truth. Your word tells us that there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, as written in Romans 8:1, and let this truth move from concept to lived reality. Let condemnation lose its power. Let shame loosen its grip. Let freedom feel possible, not theoretical. God, help the listener distinguish between conviction and condemnation. Conviction leads toward life and restoration. Condemnation leads toward hiding and despair. Train their heart to follow what draws them closer to you. Let repentance feel like returning, not groveling. Let correction feel like guidance, not rejection. For the one who feels spiritually tired, not rebellious, just weary, offer renewal. Weariness does not mean faith has failed. It means the journey has been long. Even Elijah needed rest beneath the broom tree. Even the strongest servants needed food, sleep, and reassurance. Meet the listener's exhaustion with gentleness, not rebuke. Let them know they do not have to be on all the time. They do not have to maintain spiritual intensity to be loved. Your love is not powered by their energy. It is constant even when they are depleted. Especially then, as the day unfolds further, the listener may encounter moments that stir old reactions. Patterns learned long ago may try to resurface. In those moments, slow them down just enough to choose differently. Growth often reveals itself not in never struggling, but in pausing long enough to respond with awareness. God, celebrate progress they may overlook. Honor the pause before reacting. The prayer whispered instead of the argument. The boundaries set instead of silent resentment. The rest taken instead of burnout. These are signs of restoration already at work. Let the listener feel encouraged rather than discouraged by imperfection. You are not surprised by setbacks. You are patient beyond measure. You measure faithfulness differently than the world does. You look at direction, not speed. As this prayer continues, extend your presence into the listener's sense of purpose. Many carry a quiet anxiety about meaning, about whether their life is truly aligned with what they were created for. Some fear they have missed their calling. Others fear it will never become clear. Speak peace into this uncertainty. Purpose is not a single destination to reach, but a way of walking with you. Obedience today matters more than clarity about tomorrow. Love expressed now matters more than grand plans later. You reveal purpose progressively, not all at once. Let the listener remember that Jesus spent most of his life in ordinary faithfulness before public ministry ever began. Hidden seasons are not wasted seasons. They are formative. They shape character, humility, and dependence on God rather than applause. Your word reminds us that in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight, as written in Proverbs 3:6. Let this be comforting, not pressuring. Straight paths do not mean easy ones, but guided ones. Let the listener trust that you are actively involved in their direction, even when it feels unclear. God, bless the listener's work today, paid or unpaid, visible or hidden. Work done with integrity matters to you. Effort given in love carries eternal weight. Remind them that they serve you not only in prayer, but in daily faithfulness. Protect them from the lie that their worth rises and falls with output. They are valuable before they accomplish anything today. Let this truth reshape how they enter their responsibilities, not driven by fear, but anchored in identity. As this prayer moves forward, bring attention to the listener's body again. Invite rest where there has been strain. Invite nourishment where there has been neglect. Invite gentleness toward themselves. Stewardship of the body is not selfish, it is wisdom. Help them listen to signals without guilt. For the one who feels emotionally numb, remind them that numbness is often the soul's way of coping. You are patient with thawing. You do not rush sensitivity. Slowly, safely, you restore feeling where it has gone quiet. Stay near as that process unfolds. Let the listeners sense that you are trustworthy, not only with joy, but with pain. They do not need to shield you from their darker emotions. You already know them. Invite honesty. Invite lament. Invite the full range of human experience into relationship with you. As prayer continues, let gratitude and longing coexist. Gratitude for what is, longing for what is not yet. Neither cancels the other. Both can live faithfully in the same heart. Teach the listener that it is possible to be content and hopeful at the same time. God, strengthen the listener's awareness that restoration is not a solitary effort. You often work through community, through shared burdens, through voices that reflect your truth. Gently nudge them toward connection where isolation has grown comfortable but unhealthy. Give discernment to know who to trust. Give humility to receive support. Give courage to ask when help is needed. Interdependence is not weakness. It is design. As this fifth movement of prayer continues without interruption, let the listener feel less alone than when they began. Let their breathing feel easier. Let their inner world feel a little more spacious. Let trust feel a little more accessible. God has not stepped away. He is still here. His embrace remains steady, his attention unwavering, his work ongoing. Stay open, stay present. The prayer is still unfolding, and restoration is still gently, faithfully taking shape. Continue to rest here, because what is unfolding now is a deeper settling, the kind that reaches places words rarely touch. This is not an emotional high or a fleeting sense of comfort. This is the quiet assurance that grows when the soul realizes it does not have to carry itself anymore. God is doing what only He can do, holding you together from the inside while the world continues to move around you. You may notice that your breathing has changed since this prayer began. That is not accidental. When the heart feels safer, the body follows. When the spirit feels seen, the mind loosens its grip. This is the language of trust forming without effort. Let it continue. There is no need to analyze it. Simply remain receptive. Lord, you know how often we brace ourselves without realizing it. We brace for disappointment. We brace for misunderstanding. We brace for loss before it even arrives. Over time, bracing becomes a way of living. But you are inviting the listener now to unbrace, to unclench what has been held too tightly for too long. Speak gently to the nervous system. Tell it the danger is not always imminent. Tell it that rest is allowed. Tell it that not every moment requires defense. Let your peace move beyond concept and settle into the body as lived reality. For the one listening who feels hyper-aware of everything, other people's moods, expectations, possible outcomes, bring relief. Hypervigilance is exhausting. It comes from having learned that safety depended on control, but now you are offering a different way, a way rooted in trust rather than anticipation of harm. Teach the listener what it means to abide rather than manage, to remain rather than predict. Jesus spoke of this kind of life when He said, "Abide in me, and I in you," in John 15:4, not as a demand, but as an invitation. Abiding is not passive, it is relational. It is choosing closeness over control. Let this abiding feel like coming home rather than following rules. Let it be marked by familiarity, not fear. Let the listener sense that they do not need to perform spirituality to stay connected to you. Connection is sustained by presence, not perfection. God, as the listener moves through the remainder of this day, there may be moments when old habits resurface. Habits of worry, self-doubt, or mental rehearsing of worst-case scenarios. When that happens, gently interrupt the spiral, not with harsh correction, but with awareness. Bring them back to this moment, to breath, to you. Let them learn the practice of returning again and again to your presence when the mind wanders, returning without shame, returning without explanation, just returning because you are always there. For the one who feels tempted to numb themselves when emotions rise, through distraction, overworking, or withdrawal, offer an alternative. Offer presence. Teach them that emotions, when met with you, do not overwhelm, they inform. They pass through rather than take over. God, help the listener build capacity rather than avoidance. Capacity to feel without drowning. Capacity to hope without collapsing. Capacity to engage without losing themselves. This kind of capacity is built slowly, safely, with you as anchor. Let them discover that they are stronger than they think, not because they can endure anything alone, but because they are learning to lean. Strength that leans is sustainable. Strength that isolates eventually fractures. As prayer continues, bring attention to the listener's inner expectations of God. Some have learned to expect disappointment, even from you, perhaps not consciously, but subtly. If you're good, why did that happen? If you care, why did it take so long? These questions linger quietly, shaping trust. Meet those questions without defensiveness. You are not offended by honesty. Sit with the listener in the tension between faith and confusion. You do not rush them to resolution. You remain present in the asking. Let them know that trust does not require understanding everything. It requires relationship. There were many moments when the disciples did not understand Jesus, yet they stayed. Staying mattered more than certainty. Your word invites us to a different posture toward anxiety when it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God," as written in Philippians 4:6. This is not a command to suppress worry, but an invitation to redirect it. Worry becomes prayer when it is brought to you instead of rehearsed alone. Let the listener practice this redirection today. Not perfectly, not consistently, just honestly. When anxiety arises, let it become signal rather than enemy, a signal to pause, a signal to breathe, a signal to turn toward you. And as they do, let the next verse become lived experience, that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, would guard their heart and mind. Guarding does not mean preventing every anxious thought. It means preventing those thoughts from ruling. God, place a gentle guard around the listener's heart today. Guard it from unnecessary guilt, from comparisons that distort perspective, from voices that diminish rather than build. Let discernment rise alongside compassion so they can remain open without being unprotected. As the prayer unfolds further, draw attention to the listener's capacity for joy. Some have learned to keep joy at arm's length, fearing it will be taken away. Others feel guilty for joy when pain still exists. Reframe joy as resilience rather than denial. Joy does not erase sorrow. It coexists with it. It is a quiet rebellion against despair. It is choosing to notice goodness without pretending everything is good. Let the listener give themselves permission to experience joy in small doses without fear or guilt. God, help them recognize moments of joy when they appear unexpectedly. Laughter, beauty, relief, connection. These moments are not distractions from faith, they are expressions of it. They are glimpses of restoration already at work. As this day continues, the listener may encounter moments that challenge their boundaries, requests that stretch them, expectations that feel heavy. Teach them to pause before saying yes, to check in with you before committing, to honor their limits without apology. Boundaries are not barriers to love, they are containers that protect it. Help the listener discern where they need to step back in order to remain healthy. Give them language that is both kind and clear. Release them from the need to over-explain. God, affirm the listener's worth apart from usefulness. In a culture that values output, remind them that being is not inferior to doing. Their existence matters to you. Their presence matters. Their rest matters. Let this truth shape how they speak to themselves today. Let them notice when self-talk becomes transactional. I am worthy if I accomplish, and gently replace it with truth. I am worthy because I am loved. As prayer continues, extend grace toward the listener's spiritual life as well. Remove the pressure to feel a certain way during prayer or worship. Faith is not measured by emotional response. Some days are quiet. Some are dry. Some are full. All can be faithful. Teach them that consistency matters more than intensity. Returning matters more than feeling. Choosing you again, even when enthusiasm is low, is a form of devotion that deeply honors you. God, prepare the listener for moments later today when they may forget this prayer. When the noise returns, when urgency rises, when stress narrows perspective, when that happens, gently remind them, not with frustration but with invitation, that they can return again. Returning does not mean starting over. It means continuing. You are not counting failures, you are cultivating relationship. Every return deepens trust. As this sixth movement of prayer flows onward, let the listener feel grounded rather than elevated, anchored rather than stirred. Peace does not always feel like lightness. Sometimes it feels like weight, in the best sense. The weight of being held, the weight of being rooted. God, anchor them now. Anchor their heart in truth. Anchor their mind in peace. Anchor their body in safety. Anchor their future in hope. Let them move forward from this moment not hurried, not burdened, but accompanied. Your presence does not end when the prayer does. It continues in every breath, every step, every ordinary moment that follows. Stay near, Lord, and let the listener remain aware, quietly, steadily, that you already are. Remain attentive, beloved, because what God is shaping now is endurance that is gentle, not hardened. This is the kind of strength that does not clench its fists against the future, but opens its hands in quiet confidence. You are learning, even now, that faith does not always roar. Sometimes it settles. Sometimes it deepens in silence. Sometimes it grows roots instead of wings. There is a subtle shift happening as this prayer continues. The urgency to resolve everything is loosening. The need to understand every outcome is softening. This is not apathy, it is trust maturing. It is the soul realizing that it does not need to stay on high alert to remain safe. God is faithful, even when you are not vigilant. Lord, you know how quickly our thoughts run ahead of us, how easily we live 5 conversations into the future, 10 outcomes ahead, rehearsing what might go wrong. But you meet us only here, now, not in imagined disasters, not in replayed regrets. Teach the listener how to return to the present moment, where grace is always sufficient. Let this moment become an anchor they can return to throughout the day. Not the words themselves, but the awareness beneath them. The awareness that you are near. The awareness that they are held. The awareness that they do not need to solve life in order to be loved. For the one listening who feels pressure to be strong for others, remind them that strength does not mean emotional isolation. You never intended anyone to be a reservoir without refill. Even Jesus allowed himself to be supported. Even he asked his friends to stay near. Release the listener from the belief that they must always be the one who holds everything together. God, invite them into honest dependence. Dependence not as helplessness, but as relationship. You are not burdened by their needs. You are not depleted by their prayers. You are a father who delights in being leaned on. Your word reminds us of this tender truth when it says, Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you, as written in 1 Peter 5:7. Let this casting be an ongoing practice, not a one-time act. Each anxious thought can be released again and again. You do not tire of receiving what weighs them down. As this prayer continues, there may be emotions rising that feel inconvenient, sadness without a clear reason, fatigue that lingers, frustration that surprises. Do not let the listener judge themselves for these experiences. Emotions are not moral failures. They are signals. Invite them to curiosity rather than criticism. Teach them to ask gently, "What is my soul needing right now?" Instead of demanding instant correction, often the answer is not more effort, but more compassion, more rest, more honesty, more grace. God, tend to the listener's inner pace. Many have learned to live hurried internally even when their schedule allows rest. Slow the inner dialogue. Create space between thought and reaction. Let calm grow where pressure once dominated. As they move through the day, help them notice when they are pushing themselves unnecessarily. Invite pauses that feel almost uncomfortable at first. Pauses reveal what we are avoiding. Meet them there. Do not let them rush past themselves. For the one who fears stillness because it allows old pain to surface, remind them that you are present in that stillness. Pain brought into your presence does not grow stronger, it begins to transform. You are not asking them to face anything alone. Let them trust that healing does not require reliving everything in detail. Sometimes healing is simply knowing that you are with them now, even if the past remains imperfectly understood. God, expand the listener's imagination for what a peaceful life can look like. Not a life without challenge, but a life rooted deeply enough that storms do not uproot it. Peace is not fragile when it is anchored in you. Your word says, "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you," as spoken in Numbers 6:24-26. And let this blessing feel personal, not distant. Let them sense that your face is turned toward them today, not in scrutiny, but in delight. Let them carry this blessing into their interactions. Let grace shape their tone. Let patience temper their reactions. Let humility guide their responses. Not because they are forcing virtue, but because they are moving from a place of being filled. As the prayer continues, address the listener's fear of failure. Many carry an unspoken belief that one wrong step could undo everything. That grace is fragile. That love is conditional. Gently dismantle this lie. Your grace is not undone by human weakness. Your love is not revoked by imperfection. You are not waiting for the listener to fail so you can withdraw. You are committed beyond their inconsistency. Let this assurance free them to take healthy risks today, to speak honestly, to try again, to choose courage over avoidance. Failure is not the opposite of faith. Refusing to trust is. God, remind the listener that obedience is not about getting everything right. It is about staying responsive, about listening, about adjusting when needed. You guide those who are willing, not those who are flawless. As this prayer carries on, invite the listener to notice how often they rush past small joys in pursuit of bigger relief. Teach them to receive what is available now: a moment of calm, a kind word, a small success. These are not distractions, they are nourishment. Let them practice receiving without guilt, receiving rest, receiving kindness, receiving affirmation, receiving your presence. Receiving does not make them weak, it makes them honest about being human. God, protect the listener from spiritual comparison as well, from measuring their faith against others' expressions. Some are loud, some are quiet, some are expressive, some are reserved. You delight in the uniqueness of each soul's response to you. Let them trust their own way of relating to you. Let prayer feel natural rather than performative. Let faith feel lived rather than displayed. As the day unfolds further, There may be moments when the listener feels tempted to retreat into self-judgment. When that happens, interrupt the cycle. Bring them back to truth, not with condemnation, but with clarity. Remind them that growth is happening even when it is not visible. That restoration is unfolding even when it feels slow. That you are working in layers, not just on the surface. God, let this prayer leave a residue. Not emotional intensity, but quiet confidence. The kind that does not need to be defended. The kind that remains steady when circumstances fluctuate. The kind that trusts you with both clarity and confusion. Let the listener move forward today with softened shoulders and grounded feet. Let their thoughts be less frantic. Let their reactions be less sharp. Let their inner world be less crowded. You are not finished. You are not distant. You are not waiting on them to become someone else. You are walking with them as they are, shaping them with patience, surrounding them with care. As this seventh movement of prayer continues seamlessly onward, let the listener sense that they are no longer striving to be held. They already are. And from that place of being held, life can be faced with a steadier heart, a clearer mind, and a deeper trust that restoration is not a distant promise, but an ongoing reality in your faithful presence. As this prayer gently comes to rest, do not rush away from what has settled within you. Let the stillness linger like warmth after light has filled a room. You do not need to hold on to every word to carry what matters forward. What remains is not language, but presence. God goes with you now, not as a distant thought, but as a quiet companion woven into the ordinary moments ahead. You may not feel dramatically different, and that is all right. Restoration often arrives softly. Like morning light, it does not announce itself, yet everything slowly becomes visible because of it. Trust that something has been realigned. Trust that something has been strengthened. Trust that God has been attentive in ways deeper than emotion. As you step back into the movement of your day, carry this awareness with you. You are not walking alone. When your thoughts begin to scatter, return to this simple truth. When pressure rises, remember where your breath first slowed. When doubt whispers, recall that God's voice has already spoken peace over you. Let the words of Scripture remain alive within you, quietly guiding rather than demanding. Remember how Jesus assured his followers, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives," as written in John 14:27. This peace is not fragile. It is not dependent on circumstances aligning. It is given and it remains. And as you move forward, trust the promise that the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you, as spoken in Deuteronomy 31:8. This is not poetry alone, it is reality. God is already present in what awaits you next. Let your steps be unhurried. Let your heart stay open. Let your expectations rest in God rather than outcomes. You do not need to carry everything at once. Today will unfold one moment at a time, and grace will meet you in each one. Remain gentle with yourself. Remain attentive. Remain willing to return again to this place of trust whenever you need to. The embrace of God does not close when the prayer quiets. It continues, steady, faithful, and near, as you live the rest of this day. Lord, I ask all of this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.